Hello, this is Ramai Thakur, and I'd like to show you the technical side of my live looping studio. It took me like 1 year to get to the point where I'm at now, and it's not perfect, but still I found out some stuff, and it might help you to build up your tools. Thank you. So let's quickly go through what is there, and then I go to more explanation. So we have the RC505, then there's tablas, and there are two mics for it. And then we have like one MIDI keyboard Arturia key step, the Roland Gaia, then another MIDI keyboard, the computer with Ableton on it, then the Roland JDXI, the Novation Circus, and then there is a sitar. We have two mics and one like pickup, and there's another piano, and then like that's the main mixer, and then I have another mixer for like things which are not recorded, like the click is on there. That's actually the main reason I'm using it. Only to have like another mixer where you can put things which you don't want to record. And that's just a small interface. I'm using it not regularly. And then below it, oh, there's the compressor I'm using for the sitar. And there's a compressor I'm using for the tablas. So let's start with the RC505. So I'm not using any like any FX, any effects in the input, and I'm very rarely using FX in the output. So these are the input, these are the output effects. I'm not using them. Maybe sometimes a little filter on the output. Like, can zoom a little bit. If you go to system and then input line out, like in this way, I put it to off. And now I show you how everything is done with the mixer. So whatever instrument I have, it goes to the mixer. For example, two channels for the tabla, and here's the tabla, and then we have two mics, and it goes to the mixer. And from the mixer, with an insert cable, it first goes to the compressor, because normally for drums you need a compressor, otherwise you have too much. You need to make the sound more compressed when you have drums. Like if you have a loud sound and a quiet sound, and like for example, if you don't have a compressor, you will hear the loud sound too much and the quiet sound too less. So when you have a compressor, it all goes more together, and it's just needed to make a good mix. So like whatever I'm using, whatever instruments, let's start with the tabla. I'm unmuting it, and then you have the sound, and the sound which is there, which is recorded to the RC505. So it goes to the from the mixer. Like on good mixers, you have sub channels. So whatever goes to the RC505 goes on the first subgroup, and you can like group every channel to this subgroup, and from the subgroup 1 and 2, like channel 1 and channel 2 go out to the RC505. And like this, you have here a little knob which this is the subgroup, and in here you can say to master. So whatever goes to the subgroup, which is then the RC505, also goes to the master. So when you play and you're not recording, or when you play and you're recording, whatever sound you play still goes to the master. And then what is recorded goes from the RC505 to a stereo channel. So these are all the stereo channels which are there. There are 5, and then wherever it is, like on here on number 5, this is then the RC505. So you won't hear the sound through the RC505. You only will hear the recording. That's why the output, like I showed before, like the sorry. Input line out is on off. Okay. So the other instruments which are there is like the sitar, which has 2 microphones. So that you see 2 microphones at the sitar, and there's another pickup, so we have 3 channels from the sitar. So whenever I use the sitar, I just unmute this, and like here, and then you already hear the mics are open, and you will hear them that they are open. So I again unmute them. I have a compressor also for the sitar. Just this one. Like a prisoner's little. Here you see it, the blue one. So, and like other channels, like the Roland Gaia is on this one. I don't unmute them because you practically don't hear it. That's why it's always open. Yeah, and then we have the JDXI, but from the JDXI I'm not recording to the RC505. This I'm recording directly to Ableton if I use it. And then the Gaia Xi Cirquit will also be on a stereo channel which is not recorded on the RC505. One thing more, I have a Alesis Quadraverb, like a reverb, which goes through like the channels from the microphones, like the tabla and the sitar. We have 2 aux send, and this aux send will go to the reverb, and I'm using a small room at the moment, and as the reverb setting, and then it goes back to channel 17 and 18, and this is the reverb. So whatever reverb is there is also from the from the mixer with a quadra verb from Alesis, and this also will be recorded on the RC505, because also this reverb goes to the sub channel 1 and 2, and by this is recorded to the RC505. Okay. When you have many devices like synthesizers and things, it needs to be tracked. So this is done through MIDI. So the clock, like the clock master, in this case is the JDXI. Here the tempo can be adjusted. So when you start, I'm putting like I hear the click because it's through this other mixing table. There is the click on it, and the click you hear now is from the Novation circuit. And let's maybe quickly say this: you can adjust the click on the RC505 through the phone's output. So in my case, the phones goes to the other mixing table. Like here I have the channel 2. There is the click, which only the click goes through the phones out, and then I put it on one channel. So the click comes from the RC505, but on the recording it's not heard. What you hear now is the click from the Novation circuit. So here, this is the master, like the MIDI master. It goes out with MIDI cable, first to the Novation circuit, then to the RC505, then to the Arturia key step, and then actually to the Axiom 25, and then to the Roland Gaia. So this is all clocked through MIDI. Ableton also needs to be clocked, so this can be done via USB. So in my case, I have the Arturia. I told Ableton to take the clock from Arturia key step. So whenever I play on the Roland JDXI, which means the click starts, or the clock starts, it's Ableton recognizes it. And also takes up the clock. So in Ableton I'm actually using DS Zorn synthesizer a lot, and also Tantra synthesizer, and like some drone sounds which are from Ableton. So when I record a track, or like the tracks I'm looping, those things who go through Ableton, I'm looping directly on Ableton. It's very simple. Every track can have loops, and you just loop, like press the recording button on a single track, and then it will be recorded and looped. So with a track running, let's just make one short example. for example, the Gaia Xi has also a recording device, so you can real-time recording. What is recorded there can also be changed. Just to show that